Shalom. Someone asked me a very good question, and I chose to do a video, and I want to answer this question in this video. The question is, can we keep Passover outside of Jerusalem? We are in the time of Passover, and right now many people are planning on keeping Passover. They are scheduling, getting ready, they're making preparations, they're doing all the necessary things that you do to try and keep Passover. But the question must be asked and it must be answered. Can we keep Passover outside of Jerusalem? And we must go to the scriptures and see what the scripture have to say. We must see what Yahuah have to say concerning Passover. This Passover, of course, when we come in, out of a sleep and we realize these Kadash days that our people kept them, we want to be a part of it and we want to do it. But is it biblical? Is that what we're supposed to be doing? And that's what I'm going to show here today. The first scripture, Deuteronomy 16, I'm going to read 1 through 3 and 5 through 7. It says, observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover to Yahuah your Elohim. In the month of Abib, Yahuah your Elohim brought you out of Egypt by night. Therefore you shall sacrifice the Passover to Yahuah your Elohim from the flock of your herd in the place where he chooses to put his name. So this is the key point right here. This have to be done in the place where he chooses to put his name. And we're going to see this over and over in the Torah, and we're going to see it throughout the Bible. This saying that we can only keep this in the place where he chooses to place his name. Verse 3, you shall eat no leavened bread with it 7 days. You shall eat unleavened bread with it. That is the bread of affliction. For you came out of the land of Mitzrayim, Egypt, in haste, that you may remember the day in which you came out of the land of Mitzrayim all the days of your life. Okay, right here, this is telling us the reason why our forefathers kept Passover. It was to remember the day in which we came out of the land of Egypt. And this is to be remembered all the days of our life. And we're going to see in the scripture of the people keeping Passover. I'm going to jump to verse 5. You may not sacrifice the Passover within any of your gates which Yahuah your Elohim is giving you. Verse 5 is telling us right here is dry. It's dry and cut. You may not sacrifice. This word sacrifice, you may not kill the Passover. This is what it's saying. You may not slaughter it. You may not prepare it within any of your gates which Yahuah your Elohim gives you. This Passover, which is the lamb, it must be done the way he commanded. And today it cannot be done the way it was done back then because of circumstances, because of the scattering all over the earth. Verse 6, but at the place where Yahuah your Elohim chooses to make his name abide, this is where we keep it. At the place where he chooses to place his name, there you shall sacrifice the Passover at twilight, at the going down of the sun, at the time you came out of Egypt. This has everything to do with the time we came out of Egypt. And it's a remembrance. This is why it was rehearsed and done year after year after year. And also there's end time prophetic message of why they did it. We should know in the end times the reason why they did it and what it has to do to relate to this day and age right now. Because it does. He didn't have them doing this for nothing, rehearsing the same feast year after year. They did not do it for nothing. It was for a reason. Yahuah would never require his people to do something for nothing. And this Passover have everything to do with the end times and where we're at today. Verse 7, and you shall roast and eat it in the place which Yahuah your Elohim chooses, and in the morning you shall turn and go to your tents. So again, we're seeing over and over, this must be eaten in the place where he chooses. We can't do this just anywhere we want to do. And sadly, this is what people are doing. They're trying to partake of something that's Kadash the way they think is right. Okay, this is Deuteronomy 12, and I'm going to read 5 through 14, and I'm going to jump down to 28. But you shall seek the place where Yahuah your Elohim chooses out of all your tribes to put his name for his dwelling place, and there you shall go. Again, he's telling us over and over. We got to choose the place where he chooses to put his name, and I'm going to show where he placed his name. This is very important. There you shall take your burnt offerings. He's going to list everything we're supposed to take there. Not only the Passover is kept there where his name is, your sacrifices, your tithes, your heave offerings of your hand, your vow offerings, your free will offering, the firstborn of your herds and your flock. And there you shall eat before Yahuah your Elohim, and you shall rejoice in all to which you have put your hand, and you and your household in which Yahuah your Elohim has barak you. Verse 8, you shall not do as we are doing here today. Every man doing what's right in his own eyes. This is very important here, because today everyone is doing what they think is right in their own eyes, but it's not many. Many are called, but few are chosen. There's not many that's willing to do it the way he said do it. And if you can't do it, then they'll do what they want to do. Again, they're doing what they feel is right in their own eyes. Everyone's going to keep this Passover. They're going to try to keep it the way they feel is right. And even when it comes to when the Passover is, you have different people keeping it at different times. And we know, again, we know all of this is just confusion. It's creating confusion. For as yet you have not come to the rest of the inheritance which Yahuah your Elohim has given you. Okay, verse 9 is saying, and this reigned true for us today. At this time, when this was given, when Moshe gave this, they did not come to the rest of their inheritance, which Yahuah has given you. And we are scattered over all the earth. And this is talking to us. We have not come to the rest of the inheritance which Yahuah has given us. Why? Because we are scattered all over the earth in the lands of our captivity. We're not in the land of our inheritance. He says, but when you cross over the Jordan and dwell in the land which Yahuah your Elohim is giving you to inherit, and he gives you rest from all your enemies round about, so that you may dwell safely. We're not in the land dwelling in safety. This is the only place where this could be kept. This is the only place where we can give our tithes. If someone commanding a tithe from you, they are out of order. That's just according to the law. This is only to be done in the land, and we should be at rest from our enemies, and we should be dwelling safely. We are not in the land. We are not dwelling safely. We are we're scattered all over the earth in these different nations, in these different countries, amongst the Gentiles, just as the scripture stated, and we're tossed to and from. All these different winds of doctrine, we're tossed to and from. Then there will be the place where Yahuah your Elohim chooses to make his name abide. We're seeing it again. There Yahuah your Elohim chooses to make his name abide. There you should bring all that I command you. Now, this is the commandment coming from Yahuah. He said, there you shall bring all that I command you. Your burnt offering, your sacrifices, your tithe, your heave offering of your hand, and all the choice offerings which you vowed to Yahuah. And any vow that you made to him, that's where you take it. And you shall rejoice before Yahuah your Elohim, and you and your sons and your daughters and your male and your female servants, and the Levites who are within your gates, since he has no portions nor inheritance. And this is where it goes to, the Levites. So who are the Levites today that's accepting these tithes and these offerings? And who are the Levites that's doing these sacrifices? The Levites are supposed to do this at the temple. This we should know by now. We should know this. This is Again, this is dry and cut. It's plain and it's simple. We cannot keep Passover outside of the land. Verse 13. Take heed to yourselves. This is saying, this is, this sounds like what Yahushua said. Take heed. He's always telling people, take heed. Take heed to yourself that you do not offer your burnt offering in every place that you see. And this is what's going on. People are offering this Passover in every place that they see. I'm going to jump down to verse 28. Verse 28 says, observe and obey all these words which I command you, that it may go well with you and your children after you forever, when you do what is good and right in the sight of Yahuah your Elohim. This is the key point. We must observe these commandments, and we must do everything that's we're commanded to do, that it may go well with us and our children forever. And this is the point, that we may do what's good and right in his sight and not in our sight. See, things that seem right to us is wicked to him. And this is where the problem comes in at. This is 2 Chronicles 7 and 16. For now I have chosen and sanctified this house, talking about the temple here, that my name may be there forever. So this is the place where he chose to put his name. Yahuah chose this. No one else chose this. Yahuah chose this. No prophet chose this. The Most High chose this. He is the only one that chose this. Then I'm going to read it again. For now I have chosen and sanctified this house, set apart this house, kadosh this house, that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually. This word perpetually is forever, ongoing, continuous. When you hit the 1,000 years, his eyes will still be there, the 1,000-year reign. And the new heaven and the new earth, his eyes will be there. It's perpetually, forever. Okay, the next scripture, 2 Chronicles 6 and 6. But I have chosen Jerusalem, that my name might be there. Again, this is Yahuah saying, I have chosen Jerusalem, that my name might be there. This is where you bring your Passover. This is where you keep Passover, in Jerusalem. And this is where his name is. And people don't understand this today, and they think that they can partake in this Passover in anywhere they want to, and that's far from the truth. That goes against Scripture. His word means what it says. But people don't want to reverence his word, and they understand what it's saying, but they really don't want to reverence his word. So they teach people what they do, and the people do what they are learned from their teachers. And this is, they causing people to err, and it's very dangerous. And I have chosen you to be over my people, Yasharah. So again, he's telling us right here, he's chose Jerusalem, and this is where his name abides. This is 2 Chronicles 30 and verse 1. Now we're going to see examples of where they kept Passover. And Hezekiah sent to all Yasharah and to Yehudah, and wrote letters also to Ephraim and Manasseh, that they should come to the house of Yahuah at Jerusalem. They should come to the house of Yahuah at Jerusalem, not in Babylon, not in Europe, not in South America, at Jerusalem, to keep what? To keep the Passover unto Yahuah, your Elohim, the Elohim of Israel. So again, this is clear, and there's no misunderstanding here. This word is saying exactly what it's saying, and it means what it means. And all the people in the Bible, they knew and understood that they could not keep these feasts outside of Jerusalem. They knew this. It's just nowadays, people their heart is not truly committed to his word. And his word, this is the reason that they're not following what he's saying. And it's very vital, and it's important that we follow and listen and do what his word is telling us to do and not our own will.